Well, hey kids, it is Jeff, and I'm back with an activity that is going to help you continue your journey to find Jesus and to follow him and to understand a little bit better our main point from our kids' church experience this Sunday and the Bible lesson that goes with it. So first of all, let's remember our main point, which rhymes, right? It's forgiveness God does not lack. To him you can always go back. We talk about this idea that there really is nothing that we can do that God would not forgive. So when we screw up, when we mess up, when we make mistakes, we can always go back to God. And God has said that if we believe in Jesus and we want to follow him, that he is happy to forgive our sins and to kind of wash us clean. But the lesson went beyond God too. It went to our relationships with our parents and with our friends, and remembering that when we mess up with them, we can also go back to them. We should go back to them and try to make things right. Instead of just running away and avoiding problems, we should go and we should admit that we're wrong, and we should ask for forgiveness. And you know what? Most of the time, people will forgive us. Now, our Bible lesson was found in Luke chapter 15, starting in verse 11. And it was the story of a family, a dad and two sons. And the youngest son goes to the dad and demands his inheritance right away. An inheritance was just like what his dad might have left him in his will, the money or the property that his dad would have left him whenever his dad passed away. But the younger son didn't want to wait for dad to die. He just wanted it right then. And his dad gave it to him, and the younger son packed up everything, took off to a distant town, and he wasted it all quick. I mean, he just spent on stuff that he didn't need, on stuff that wasn't very good for him, until he was out of money. And at that same time, coincidentally, a famine comes, which means crops can't grow, and food gets very scarce and very expensive. And the son didn't have anything, so he decided he had to actually get a job, and he winds up slopping pigs for a living, which is disgusting. And he got so hungry because they weren't paying him very well, obviously, that he wanted to eat the pig slop. And no one would let him eat the pig slop. Can you imagine being so hungry that you really want to eat pig slop and being disappointed that no one will let you eat pig slop? I mean, it's just crazy. And so the son says, all right, that's it. I'm going to go back to my dad, but I've got this speech lined up. I've sinned against God. I've sinned against you. Don't call me your son anymore. If you just hire me on as a servant, that would be enough. But if you remember in the story, as this younger son is coming along, the dad sees him from a long way off, runs out to him, hugs him, kisses him, gets the servants to give him a robe and a ring for his finger and new shoes for his feet. And even though the son gives his little speech, the dad just ignores it and says, oh, come on, let's get Bessie the cow and get ready to party. Let's make some hamburgers. My son, I assumed he was dead, but he's actually alive. I assumed he was lost forever, but he's actually back here with me. It's an amazing story. And then there's another little bit to that story that we didn't get to talk about on Sunday. So the next little bit of that story is that the older son is out working in the fields. He's been so obedient, doing everything dad wanted. And he hears the party start, and he assumes, man, something great must have happened. And his older son says, well, what is it? And they say, well, it's because your little brother came home. And he flat out refuses to go to the party. And his dad comes out and says, man, what is wrong with you? And the kid's like, listen, I've always been obedient for you. You've never thrown me a party. But this guy goes out and wastes all your money, and now he's back and you throw him a party? And the dad says, listen, everything I have is yours. You're part of the family. You're with me. But I had to celebrate your little brother coming home. I assumed he was dead, and now he's here with us. We're reunited again. So kind of get over it and get your butt in to the party. It's an amazing story, and it shows us God's attitude towards us when we disobey, and God's attitude towards us when we get mad that others are forgiven and back with God. Here's what I want you to do this week as you think about this story, because it's really kind of a complex story. There's a whole lot going on there. I want you to draw 3 drawings, each through the eyes, through the point of view of one of the characters in that story. I want you to draw a picture of what it looked like through the younger son's eyes as he was approaching the house. I want you to draw a picture of what it looked like through the dad's eyes as he saw his younger son. And I want you to draw one through the picture of the older brother's eyes as he saw all this unfold from the fields as well. I think it'll help you. First of all, it's kind of a neat little art project. If you're an artistic person, that's pretty neat to look at the same scene through some different points of view. But I think it'll kind of help you understand what was going on in each of their minds a little better and allow you to understand God a little bit better. The God who will always forgive, the God who is eager for us to come back to him when we mess up, and the God who wants to know every single one of your friends, every single one of your cousins, every single person that you know. If they don't know him already, he is there waiting, looking, waiting for them to come up the road so he can run to them, he can hug them, he can kiss them, and he can invite them to be a part of the family too. So I hope you have a lot of fun this week drawing these little sketches from these different points of view and thinking a little bit more about the God who loves you so much. Bye, kids. See you later.